Kyle here from allmediareviews.blogspot.com. So, with Joyce, as we just did the Black Friday Record Store Day 2021, we never made a second Record Store Day all the way back in July, so we're sort of doing this like post 4.5 months and change late, but it's better late than never, as he often says. So, every anecdote and detail of Record Store Day in July, I honestly cannot remember, but other than the fact I didn't get the King's X album, the third King's X album, because it wasn't available.
We did go to Garda Records. Yeah. That seems to be our go-to. Yep. We went to Beerling Brothers, so these are all here locally within the Twin Cities. We did hit it Cheapo and St. Paul.
Yeah. That was it. And we had breakfast probably for the second time at Day by Day. I think that's where we got. I mean,
we did. Yeah. Yes. No, I have the pictures for that.
Anyway, we got a lot of records, so we probably should get going with those. So, you want to trade off, or how do you want to do this?
Okay, I'll go first, and then you can go through. Okay, so up first, Mayer Hawthorne Impressions. This originally came out in 2011. It was for web release only, so it was like on YouTube. You could hear it. You could hear it on SoundCloud. This came after Strange Arrangement, which is his first LP. But my favorite song off of Impressions is Work to Do, which is by the Isley Brothers. I got work to do. He also covers Mr. Blue Sky, ELO. So then there's also Don't Turn the Lights On, which is actually Chromeo. He covers Chromeo. And I believe there's a collaboration with them for... There's something between him and Chromeo. Well, one, they did tour together, okay? But that's a separate thing of the video that I believe that was filmed. So check out YouTube, just... Google Chromeo, Mayer Hawthorne.
Of 2011.
Yeah.
Yes.
But great EP, finally on vinyl. This is also Stone Throws Records because, as I said, this follows Strange Arrangement, but it's just black. So.
Standard black. Wow.
Yeah, standard black, but it has the Stone Throws label on it. All right. So, that's what I got.
All right, well, we'll go. All right, so... Let me show I'll show these together, I guess. So I mentioned I didn't get the King's X album that I got on Black Friday Record Store Day, Please Come Home, Mr. Bulbous, but they did get, which I remember originally was maybe some of these were going to be in June. June and July, the three King's X records were supposed to all come out. Two of them did come out in July. MANIC Moonlight and Tapehead, 1998, 2000, 2002. 2000, yeah. I should know this by heart. They're also numbered like the Please Come Home, Mr. Bulbous out of 2500. I'll just say briefly, and I've said this before, I champion this record, whereas a lot of the fan base does not. This is one of my, other than the first four records, this is still probably my favorite King's X. So it's like number 5, but from the post era they worked with Sam Taylor, this is my favorite. I love a lot of their other records, but it's like a orangish kind of thing. It looks a little like almost pink at times with the light down here. But I'll have to do another video someday about King's X and their catalog and this record. I'll be talking a lot about those. Like I said, Gatefold. So then the Tapehead released also, which I know a lot of people love this record, and I like it. I don't like it as much as MANIC Moonlight. I don't probably like it even as much as Please Come Home, Mr. Bulbous, but it was that same era. The post-Sam Taylor era when they were on Metal Blade. It's still a good record and well worth buying the first time on vinyl. It came out on a purple. I'm not sure if the colors were different on some of these, but the one I got is purple. So, but yeah, I would say this. I saw them twice on this tour. I saw them on all these tours back in the late 90s and early 2000s. So, but yeah, Groove Machine, even locally in Minnesota, Galactic Cowboy Orchestra is covered. That's on this record. So probably a record I should revisit, but yeah, here's the gatefold for it. So yeah, King's X fans who like vinyl can be happy now. We only have Ogre Tones and Black Like Sunday and their last album XV, and then we have a new album at some point coming out in a documentary. But so that was when I think I got both these at. Actually, I think I got these at Cheapo. Come to think of it, I got one of them at Cheapo, one of them at. I can't remember the exact. All I know is I remember.
So, who are the 3 members of King's X? Doug Pinnick,
Ty Tabor's the guitarist, and Jerry Gaskell's the drummer. Yeah.
Okay.
All Monkees fans, by the way.
Yeah. So how does that segue in.
It fits in. And Christian Nesmith, of the son of Michael Nesmith of the Monkees, who plays the Monkees, is a big fan of King's X. And why can't I get this back in the sleeve?
All right, so I want to try to mention this as briefly as possible, but as we just said, segue monkeys. Yes. So this was a big deal this year, as Rhino and everybody, Friday Music, finally got to re-release Missy Links, the very first one. Actually, Rhino did put this out, and I have the original vinyl of Missy Links. These are all colored vinyls. I'll show you in a second. Then, of course, there is Missy Links Volume 2, which is my favorite. The second one, the bestest. Also introduced us to Andrew Sandoval. This is where I first met Andrew and his work and his take on the group, and as he's become a prominent figure as well in their historical story.
Most Monkey fans know who he is now.
Yes.
Yes.
And then Missy Links Volume 3. So, as I said, I mean, these were all original Rhino releases, and Rhino did put this out on vinyl.
I'll be right back.
But now, these are issued by Friday Music. Great job, Friday Music. There are 2 different colors for each release. And of course, I got the colors that I didn't want. But, you know, that's me. Is it about the music? Yes. Is it about the colors? Even more so. So I got the yellow, which it's going to be hard for me to remember exactly what all the different colors were, but there was a different color other than yellow, and I got yellow. I didn't want yellow. And then for Missy Links Volume 2, I got the orange, and I know for this album there was a red edition, and I wanted red. Did I get red? No.
There's a lot to that story, but I don't know if you want to tell the whole story.
I already did.
Okay, yeah, the whole, like, you know.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't get into all the details.
Yeah.
And, of course, for Missy Links Volume 3, I got green. And I know there's, like, a bluish, turquoise, teal, whatever color. I didn't get that. Nope, folks. I got all the colors I didn't want. Yes, I love this band. This is probably only one of the 2 bands I love. And I mean bands, so I'm not counting duos. I'm not counting duos. I'm talking like bands where there's at least 4 people or more. That's what I consider a band. Anyways, I got all the colors I didn't want. And on the day of Record Store Day, I know that people were posting on the online Facebook group Zilch, trying to be helpful, which, great. That you could look at the barcodes on the back of the albums and figure out which color you're going to get. I don't think any of our record stores did that. It was really just grab, luck of the draw. So I don't think I was going to get the colors I wanted. And I didn't. And I haven't tried to hunt down the colors I want. So it is what it is. Maybe I will look for those.
Find those someday.
Yeah, because I really want
eBay
red and I really
else.
want the teal blue, and I forgot what.
Swap them out.
I think is orange. I forgot what the first one is. I just know I got yellow.
There's
I want yellow.
like 2 different colors for each one, right?
All right, moving on. I did. I already talked about
All
that.
right.
Moving on.
Oh, I'm attending to our feline member of our family.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, all right. Just go one by one here. So the next one I picked up from Record Store Day in July was the soundtrack to the movie Harold and Maude, which the music was done by Cat Stevens. And I'll fully admit that while I haven't seen this film in a long time, and I'm hardly like a huge Cat Stevens fan, I do remember, especially when Mike Portnoy, probably almost 20 years ago on his Hero of the Day on his forum, just raved about this. And he talked about how it wasn't ever issued on CD or it was never issued. Yeah, here's our here's Latte. So yeah, this is music from Cat Stevens. But again, I haven't listened to this, so but I should. I need to. And I just remember it being an enjoyable part of while it's not hardly my favorite movie or like an all-time favorite movie, it's a movie I enjoyed. It's a very sort of black comedy that it's become more and more of a cult film, although I'd say the last decade it's probably not been talked about as much as it was talked about like in the 90s, especially in the early 2000s. And I saw this on IFC, I think, Independent Film Channel, more than once. So Bud Cort and I forget the woman who plays the lead in this, but anyway, yeah, I mean, Cat Stevens, I don't relate Sufjan Stevens, who I'm a fan of, also to him, but This may be my favorite thing that of all the stuff I've ever heard from Cat Stevens. He's got some standards, some pop songs, but this is maybe the favorite thing. I've had my go-to if I'm going to one Cat Stevens record at this point. So, all right. Now what does Joyce have? I have more Record Store Day stuff, or is that it for Record Store Day
For
stuff?
Record Store Day stuff, I don't have anything else. No.
Well, I'll go through these quickly, and then... So then the next one I got was Ultravox's album. I think this is their debut album, which was remixed by Steven Wilson, called Vienna. Thanks to Jake Root especially, following his show on Saturdays and Wednesdays, he's played Ultravox and that specific song. It's our art rock Ultravox. This album came out in like 1980. It's a double, and I would like to find a first pressing, but given I got this, you know, I'm not going to be as aggressive, but it's a clear vinyl. They're kind of a new wave-ish type band, I guess you'd say, but with electronic elements, but they're not as stereotypical as I thought they were, because I'd heard the name many years ago, but never got into them. But you know, this is really good. I can understand why Steven Wilson would remix this, why he'd be a fan of it. Is it prog? Not exactly prog rock, but it's certainly progressive, as I say oftentimes, compared to some other music in their style. I've not really dove into more of their work at this point, but I've only heard this for the first time earlier this spring, and I just found out, oh, it's coming out on Record Store Day, so I got that. So yeah, Vienna from Ultravox. I think this came out like 1980. So, and then the final, quote unquote, well, there's two actually, Record Store Day I got. I took the plunge, and I remember where I bought this at. I bought the John Anderson, because I know this is kind of hard to find on Record Store Day, Elias and Hill, his debut album. I have this like original, like a first or second pressing, but I know that also Steven Wilson, I think, remixed this as well, or was remixed and remastered recently. But anyway, yeah, you know, John Anderson's Elias and Hill. If you're a Yes fan, you've never heard this. This version versus other versions, you know, the CD versions, I can't really say but it's John Anderson, and it's a classic progressive rock record done by John Anderson, who played almost everything on it. So, and I don't know, I was kind of, because I didn't get in certain things, I saw it, and I don't think it was too much money. I decided I'll just take the plunge, and I haven't been buying that many records over the last couple of years. So, Elias and Hill, and then the final quote unquote Record Store Day item from July I got, which I got mixed feelings about this at this point, but I did get it. I got it for a pretty reasonable price, $17 on eBay, because they didn't have it at any of the stores. It was Warpaint's remix of Warpaint's debut album, The Fool, which I haven't opened this. I guess I'll have to wait on that, or maybe I can do this later. But I've seen some comments about the mix is not as good as people thought, but it's remixes. So anyway, I love The Fool, and I'll have to just do a comparison at some point. But I've heard some of the songs online. Andrew Weatherall's the gentleman who did this. So anyway, you can go on to what you got next, Joyce. So just for the sake of...
All right. Non-Record Store Day releases of any point or any time. This is Jessie Ware, What's Your Pleasure, the deluxe edition that came out. So the follow-up, you know, to her original release. It's 7 new additional songs plus a remix of Adore You. My favorite new addition to this album is Hot and Heavy. So I'm very happy that I got to pick this up.
Probably add the fact What's Your Pleasure came out in 2020, but this is 2021.
Yep, this is it's the extended deluxe edition, just like I had mentioned in our previous video. Then I am waiting the deluxe extended edition of Kylie Minogue's Disco, because that features Jessie Ware.
Her as well. Yeah.
Yes, so Jessie Ware and Kylie Minogue do a song together. Check that out. That's been out for quite a while now. And then, quickly, I picked up The Weeknd Highlights. This too is a double disc vinyl. Here's the gatefold. I have the Target exclusive because we're here based in the Twin Cities, so of course I picked up the Target edition. And it is all red and sparkly. Yes, I love it.
Oh, it's got the sparkles, yep.
Yeah, you can only see the sparkles in this. So it has the songs. It's highlights. It's I don't know, you want to call it like a best of for now, because I mean he's not
his
done.
Whole career.
Yeah, so as of now, but I mean it's got, you know, I feel it coming with Daft Punk, Starboy, Daft Punk, Blinding Lights was just off his last album. So I don't, you know, I'm getting more and more into The Weeknd. So yeah, I'm starting to collect more of his material on vinyl. And looking forward to seeing him live in concert at some point. I know that the concert was canceled. If I could, I don't have it yet, but I did get the new Silk Sonic. I got I got the set. I got the nice edition with the T-shirt and the CD that should be coming any day now. Looking forward to, you know, Bruno Mars. And
I was going to mention about the weekend. I'll hopefully be able to do some kind of 2022 anticipation video, but I noticed on the stuff that's expected in 2022, he's listed. In fact, it might be kind of early in the year, but I don't know what officially has been announced at this point. But maybe the highlights, quote unquote, compilation, whatever that piece that you picked up.
Right, I know. Like right now, my focus is really just on.
Well, Silk Sonic has been in your playlist.
It's just been on my rotation. And that was the smoke alarm.
Yeah, hold on. We have a cat that triggered something here, but
yeah, our kitty cat.
So anyway, I'll just, now that I finally got it open, I'll show. This is what the Warpaint remix.
And he gets spooked too.
Yeah, unfortunately, our cat can't settle down because, of course, cats are nocturnal. But yeah, from a standpoint of it's cool looking gold. I mean, the original Fool doesn't look like this at all. From with the triangle jacket and everything that's opening in the jacket. You know, the Fool's a great record. I mean, I arguably still like Exquisite Corp, their EP, a little more, but I mean, among their catalog, I would put it right next to it. And they're actually supposed to be putting out a record soon, probably 2022 as well. But all right, so I'll just show the three. I showed that already in a video. I won't show that, but the other two items I remember picking up on Record Store Day. I think it was at Agarda because I think was Rush, this Garden Road bootleg, which is a well-circulated bootleg from Cleveland, Ohio, December 16th, 74, right after, like, around the time of the very first self-titled Rush album. I have this on cassette tape, which is, like I said, well-circulated. I used to get that at trades and, you know, see it often at the record shows where they'd sell live recordings. But the biggest thing for me on this, I think it's the full debut album, but it has Garden Road. But the big one is, and Bad Boy, a Beatles cover, but Fancy Dancer. The funny thing about Fancy Dancer, I bought a bootleg, I don't think it was this one, but from around the same time that labeled it as, not Made Again, Peace of Mind. It was labeled as Peace of Mind on the bootleg. I thought I had this unreleased Rush song for many, many years. Then I came to finally learn, no, because I knew Fancy Dancer and Garden Road were like the two songs that Rush never recorded that they played live, and I'm like, no, I have a song that you've never heard. It's called, you know, Peace of Mind. No, it's Fancy Dancer, but I love Fancy Dancer. So, and then the final piece that I picked up on Record Store Day back in July, I believe, is I've been wanting to pick this up for a long time. I mean, it's the second Fates Warning album, The Spectre Within. This was a reissue from like 2017, I think, but I never got around to it. Yeah, it's kind of a cool splatter. So, the second, you know, with John Arch, the original singer, my favorite of the three John Arch records. I know a lot of people love Awake in the Garden, which I do, but I'm sort of partial, and this one I got into first and everything. So, you know, we definitely picked up a lot of stuff on Record Store Day, as opposed to Black Friday Record Store Day, but, you know, we don't buy records that often in the stores, and, you know, here and there, but just with COVID and, you know, budget and everything else, we're just trying to pick our spots, but it's good to finally pick up, you know, a lot of releases. So just adding the question again, how was your Record Store Day in 2021? And what are you looking forward to maybe in 2022, whether it be new releases or Record Store Day items, or is there stuff that you didn't find that you maybe found online, like the Warpaint thing I found? So, but any last parting words? Is that about it?
Become part of the Pete Finney fan club?
Yeah, because, you know, Pete Finney, who plays with the Monkees and Michael Nesmith, slide guitar, and he played with Josh Rouse at one point.
Pedal steel guitar.
Slide guitar.
Yes.
Pedal steel. Distinguishing.
Yeah, please.
What's the difference between pedal steel guitar and slide guitar? There's distinct, but
I think if you ask those who play those instruments, they probably
because they're pretty, you know, they're pretty similar.
Isn't slide guitar? Can't you actually play that like standing up? Pretty sure
suppose.
pedal steel, you actually have to sit down because you're pressing a pedal and then strumming. Okay, anyways, we're getting into we're nitpicking, but yes, there's a tie to Pete Finney, who played on Josh Rouse's Nashville, and we had actually, after a concert that we saw of Josh Rouse, Kyle had walked up to Josh and asked him about Pete Finney, and basically Josh Rouse was like, Pete Finney's, he's like a dime a dozen. And I'm like, really? Because he's playing with Nesmith now. And, Nesmith, he's got high standards, like me. So I don't think that he's dime a dozen, and I don't know if Josh Rouse was just being facetious, which could have been. But the point is, at the next Josh Rouse show, which unfortunately he did come here on a date he was making up at the Dakota Jazz Club, but I'm sure he'll be back. I'll be wearing this. Yes,
I got one as well, actually. Yeah. Yes.
Sure, Josh Rose is.
I'm not sure he completely downplayed Pete Finney, but that's more or less what he kind of says. Like, oh yeah, I know him. He played on my record. He's like, yeah, there's a lot of those guys that live in Nashville. So but yeah, then it kind of turned its head when I did mention the fact he's with Nesmith, and it's like, oh really? Okay.
Yeah. But, so I'll be wearing this at the next Josh Rouse concert. Stay tuned.
Anyway, so more stuff coming up, hopefully, if time allows.
Yes, hopefully I'll be back more often as soon as I'm getting more things. I hope to do my Silk Sonic unboxing so we can film that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And albums of the year, at least I'll try to do. I have a list.
I mean, the CD is out, but there's a
playlist
special
thing and stuff like that.
Silk Sonic has
it's
released.
Late November now, so people are talking about. I usually try to finish mine earlier than this, but and then 2022, which always happens every year, but I think, it's going to be a big year. It potentially could be a big year, of course, for my tastes and for some of your tastes.
I just hope it'll be a big year for at least concert viewing. If everything, as long as we keep safety protocols in place and we keep testing and we keep getting our booster shots and so forth, monitoring all of that, my goal is to I hope to see Silk Sonic. I hope the weekend reschedule here. I did not get a chance to see Lizzo. A few of my friends did, but maybe she'll be back on tour. I'm hoping Jessie, please Jessie Ware, please be on tour.
Huge record in 2020.
Huge record, and I hope that you go out and support it. I know that, she is taking care of her family, which is first and foremost, anyone's agenda, which, great. But I would love to hear that.
Well, it also contends with, as I learned, that the Opeth drummer ended up getting basically kicked out of the band because he was refused to get a vaccine, and they require the vaccines to travel from Europe. So, I
love solo artists and not a lot of bands.
Yeah, but the thing is, it doesn't matter unless Jessie's band is based here. No, she's still to contend with that. So
yeah, I mean, in terms of your backing band, but these are not people who are in a permanent lineup.
I know, but I'm saying that was I'm sure that's not an isolated case. I'm sure that's happened with other people in situations where. I want to tour and they require.
Did announce that they're coming out with new music. Yay!
Yeah, I know. I'll do if you want to do that. But the thing is, it'd be 80% of the stuff I'm looking for doing 20% of your stuff. But yeah, Capital Cities is on my anticipation list.
My taste and your taste are not sympactical.
What was the last record? 2017, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, Swimming Pool Summer, and I forget what the name of the second record was, but one other record from Capital Cities. Anyway, but like I said, thanks for watching. Thank you for watching, and like I said, and see you next time.
Bye.
All right, one more. We're gonna tack this on because we forgot to show a couple of things that she
picked up for Record Store Day back this summer, and my mind had completely forgotten. And this is why you should do a video right after you get your stuff. Quickly, I did pick up the Hall & Oates Voices. This is 1980. Of course, it has Kiss on My List, You've Lost That Love and Feeling, You Make My Dreams Come True. The wonderful thing about this is that this is the French import, I believe. Let me get my facts straight here. Yes, so it is interview booklet, one pressing, translucent French import. So here's the translucent, aka clear. So this is RCA Records. This is the label they're on. One of my favorite albums. 1980. I distinctly remember hearing Kiss on My List quite a bit. I had that in heavy rotation as
at that time in 1980.
Yes, that is actually.
I can't actually claim that fact myself.
That is how I
was alive in 1980.
Occupied myself as a child, or as the adults occupied me, is that they would give me a big stack of vinyl singles and put them on the record player, and they'd drop down one at a time, like on a jukebox style. And I would sit there with these huge overhead headphones and listen to song after song after song. But I'd be like, I want to play that one again and again. So, yeah, Hall & Oates and I go back way back.
For the Monkees, before George Michael and Wham.
Yeah, Hall & Oates, they were my first. So, duo, not band. Duo. Two people. Yes. So, Daryl Hall, John Oates, love ya. The other item that I forgot was the Amy Winehouse remixes. So, of course, this has like Rehab, Back to Black, You Know I'm No Good, Tears Dry on Their Own. It also has Love is a Losing Game. But basically, these are different remixes by Harmonic 33. Names I don't recognize. MJ Cole remix. I just thought this would be cool to add to my collection.
This one has Jay-Z, it looks like.
That's featuring Jay-Z.
Yeah.
That's not a remix.
Oh, he wasn't doing the remix, though.
No.
So that's just the track itself featured him.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
I don't know the Amy Winehouse catalog that well. So.
Sadly, she doesn't have that big of a catalog. R.I.P. But this is in translucent blue, as you can see. So, right there. It's got all of the lyrics on the back, which is really nice. So, rest in peace, Amy Winehouse. She was great. She was. But yeah, so I forgot those two things, the Hall & Oates, the Amy Winehouse remixes, and I'm pretty sure now that is all that I got for Record Store Day 2021.
Yeah.
So next time, we'll see you. Bye.
Yeah, I should also add, I forgot to mention that there's records that I've bought that haven't come in, like the Deer Hunter and I think Ours and some others. So those will be showing up if we do the Silk Sonic video. I'll have to do some of that stuff too. Of course, I do my record updates. But yeah, thank you for watching again. We'll see you next time.